There's a very scary thing hidden on this island and no one goes to this island. In the beginning of 1945, during World War II, British decided to take Ramree Island back from Japanese. Ramree Island is a very big and flat island which is located on the coast of Burma. This Ramree Island is a very good staging location from where air campaigns could be easily carried out to the mainland. Consider it as a very good air base. Basically, British were the owners of this island but Japanese forcefully took it away from them in 1942. Now it was 1945 and British decided to take it back. On January 21, 1945, British and Indian forces attack Ramree's beaches to take it back. As soon as they land here, they have all the artillery support of the naval and they bomb this air base. In a short time, they take control of other Japanese, but Japanese didn't want to surrender, so they leave this air base and British take it. The remaining 1,000 Japanese soldiers were running on the other side of the island where more Japanese soldiers were already there. But now the problem was to get these 1,000 soldiers to their other allies. They had to cross this 10 kilometers long mangrove which was full of poisonous spiders, insects, and soil which was very difficult to move. But they had no other choice, so they went inside the swamp. Now these Japanese were not ready for the thing because of which this Ramree Island was famous, a creature in front of which poisonous snakes, spiders and insects look like babies, and all these Japanese were going for it. British decide not to follow them in this swamp. They block the outside of the swamp with boats so that if any Japanese try to escape, they will catch them. Now the Japanese had only one way to escape. They had to cross this 10 kilometers long swamp and go to their other soldiers. That night, British were sitting on the edge of the swamp on a boat and they hear screams from inside the swamp. These were the screams of Japanese soldiers. The sound of bullets was heard here and then stopped. The same sound was heard everywhere in the swamp, the sound of screams, gunfire and silence. British were very surprised. They said, "Our soldiers are not inside. What is happening inside here?" Now what was happening inside there, Guinness Book of World Records describes it as the world's largest mass murder of humans, that too by the hands of animals. And not an ordinary animal, but a saltwater crocodile. These are very massive crocodiles that eat humans. They weigh up to 1,000 kilograms and they reach up to 23 feet in length. National Geographic has even labeled this crocodile as the animal with the highest chances of eating humans. The population of saltwater crocodiles is the highest in the world, and they all lived in the same swamp where the Japanese had entered. Many of these soldiers were bleeding because they had fought in the past, so they were attracting hundreds of saltwater crocodiles towards them. Saltwater crocodiles are famous for hunting in the dark. So what happened here was that when the Japanese went inside these mangroves, crocodiles knew about their presence immediately, but they waited till dark, and then they started their feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy means that all the crocodiles are eating in the same location. After a while, many Japanese soldiers came out of the swamp and presented themselves in front of the British soldiers. They caught about 20 of them, and they were saying that they were surrounded by crocodiles. In whichever direction they looked, the crocodiles were eating humans. As soon as they ate one person, they would jump on the next person to eat. In this retreat, when the Japanese reached the other side of the swamp, out of 1,000, only 500 people were able to reach. The rest were eaten by crocodiles. Till today, people stay away from Ramree Island because there are a lot of man-eating crocodiles there, and they have no problem tearing you into pieces. It is a very small island full of jungles, only 150 kilometers away from the coast of Brazil. No matter how beautiful it looks, no one goes there. In fact, it is not allowed to go there because the Brazilian Navy has strictly prohibited it. The legends of this island begin in the early 1900s when a local fisherman was near the coast. He could see very beautiful banana trees on the coast of this island. The bananas were ripe and ready to be plucked. He thought he could easily take his boat there, grab some bananas, and return home in 10 minutes. So he stopped his boat near the island, dropped anchor, went through the middle, climbed a tree and started plucking bananas. While he was on the tree, he felt a sharp pain on his side, near his rib cage. He fell from the tree and started bleeding. He thought it was just a tree branch that had cut him. Panicked and alone, he abandoned the bananas, went back to his boat, removed the anchor, and tried to return to the mainland. But on the way, he fell unconscious. Later, another boat passed by and saw his boat drifting. They checked and found him lying dead, blood everywhere. 20 years later, a lighthouse keeper was assigned to work on this island. He lived there with his family in the main house of the lighthouse. Everything was fine for a few days. But captains who passed with their ships near this island noticed that the lighthouse light was off. They reported it to the mainland, and a search party was sent. When they entered the lighthouse, they found the keeper and his family lying dead in their beds. The only sign was puncture marks on their bodies, and an open window. They had died from a poison that literally melts human organs in 60 minutes if untreated. The source of this poison was the golden lancehead viper, a deadly snake that exists only on this island and nowhere else in the world. That is why this island became known as Snake Island. Since no one goes there, the viper population exploded. Researchers estimate there are about 3,000 snakes there, with an average of 1 snake per square meter. That means if you go to this island, you are never more than 1 meter away from death. Even worse, these snakes don't just live on the ground. Since their main food source is birds, they climb and live in trees to ambush them. So if you walk on this jungle island, you are surrounded 360 degrees by deadly snakes. If one bites you, you have only 60 minutes to get the antidote. Without it, death is certain. The only people who go there are the Brazilian Navy, who visit once a year to change the lighthouse batteries, since the lighthouse is now automated. Researchers sometimes go for study, and illegal hunters also try to collect the snakes. Since these snakes are rare, they are sold on the black market for $10,000 to $30,000. But many hunters who go there are bitten and die. Apart from this, there is also a village in Uganda where another very scary thing is hidden, which killed more than 80 people. Friends, I hope that you got a lot of information from this video. To watch more such interesting videos, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, click on the bell icon, which is present next to the subscription button, so that you can get the notification of all the new videos of this channel. Like and share the video. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.